Hi, I'm Joe Chilling, mornings from 7 to 9 on Buffalo's oldie station, the Big Weck. Joining us on the Big Weck's Buffalo on the Rise today is Noel Dill, who is the Vice President of Rock Oak, also a partner. Noel, welcome.
Well, thanks for having me, Joe.
Glad to have you here today. We've heard a lot on the radio station, of course, when we're working with regard to Rock Oak, and I've done a lot of commercials myself, but maybe you can explain to our viewing audience what exactly Rock Oak is.
Yeah, absolutely. Rock Oak is a senior community. Factory-built homes. We're located right in the heart of Main Street in Clarence, so right across from Spalding Lake. And we offer single-level floor plans so that, you know, as you get older, you can age in place. And, you know, we say happiness is a single story.
That's right, and that can be taken in a couple of ways, couldn't it? A single story. You know, I think that's interesting because, you know, I know that when you become of age, like myself, you know, people, if they have a home, the kids are gone, you know, they've got all this extra space, you're cleaning, you're maintaining, or, oh, guess what? The boiler that was put in 1970, it's gone. You know what I mean? So you have all these things you have to deal with, but the concern is always, I'm going to sell my home and make a good price on it, but we all know what's happening with the price of property and real estate now. It just seems to be going up and up and up. So is there going to be a plus side for me to do this?
Well, that is actually the challenge that people face right now. They're like, wow, I can't believe how much my home is worth, especially they remember what they paid for it all those years ago. But then they get sticker shock when they turn around and say, I got to downsize, I want to try and get a patio home. And all of a sudden they get this sky-high price tag. They're taking a look at, you know, $600,000–$700,000 in many cases for a floor plan of 1,700 square feet. And they're like, I'm going from this big house into a smaller one, and I might end up with, you know, $200,000–$300,000 in mortgage at this stage of my life. And you've seen the other alternative, which is to go into like a townhome or a senior apartment or things like that, where people are sharing walls. And so now after 30 years of having your own home and doing the perimeter walk every night, we all do, and locking the doors, making sure everything's safe and put away for the night. And now you're hearing like noises from the apartment next door that you're not used to. You got cooking odors, you got, you know, somebody's up at 2 o'clock in the morning banging around, and now you're up at 2 o'clock in the morning, and that's a real change. So where we're at is kind of the Goldilocks position, where we've got a community environment where people can live together. It's affordable. We have prices from under $200,000 up to, say, $269,900 for a couple of the homes that we've been talking about with you lately, where you get a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home with a 2.5-car attached garage, $269,900 starting point. So manageable price points where people can move in, get the amenities they need, and also live in a community that's a 55-plus community so they can make friends that are similar in age and interest with them, and kind of the socialization in that last third of life is the other thing that we bring to the table.
You know, one of the other things I think about, Noel, when I think about these things is homeowner associations, you know, when you have certain rules you can do, like for instance, pets. You know, is Rock Oak pet friendly? Do you have a backyard? Some people like to tinker. They like to mow the lawn. They like to, it's gardening season, you know what I mean? Give us an idea of that.
Exactly, and those are all great questions, and those are things that we can provide. You can have dogs and cats and pets because you're not in a single building. You have your own 4 walls. We work with people, you know, if you got 3 giant Great Danes, maybe that's too much for the type of the community size that's there. But for most folks, they're going to enjoy their furry friends the same way. When it comes to your backyard and cooking out in the patio, you have all that thing. You can garden, you have your own lot. It's basically typically a 76 by 100 lot. So it's a nice suburban lot size. One that typically you don't see in Clarence, where you've got larger acre and 2-acre lots. And for a lot of our people, they just can't keep up the maintenance of that bigger lot anymore, but they still like to putter around and take care of their home and improve it. And there's wonderful gardeners. We do garden walks all the time. So all the things people are looking for to kind of give them that sense of home, and it's their own place to live. And they live in a community where they have like-minded people, but they can still come at home at night when they want and have their own 4 walls. You
know, you bring up a good point, because we all saw during COVID, there was this social isolation, you know, and it really bothered people. I mean, young people, old people alike. So what do you think community means to seniors as far as Rock Oak is concerned?
Well, I'll tell you in the way that I think about my own family and my mom as she was getting older. And we would be out somewhere, and she'd run into somebody from her generation, and they would just start talking about the events of the day. And they had the same kind of framework. They grew up at the same time. They remember things the same way. They went through the same life experiences, like World War II. You know, and I always say they remember when Kennedy was shot, and that was their generation. And so it was very easy for her to strike up a friendship because there were so many commonalities in place. And now myself, like I joke, my generation, I remember when the space shuttle blew up the first time, and that's what we all do. I'm in my late 50s now. And I look more and more as I get older to the experiences that I saw when I was younger, observing the people that were doing it well. My mom really did it well. She made a lot of friends late in life that really kept her going and made the quality of her life so good. And when you're talking about isolation, that is a real problem, particularly for seniors, because you know your friend sizes can get smaller, or you can become more isolated if you, say, are out on a country road and now you're not driving as much. Well, days may pass by where you don't see people. And in this environment here, you've got smaller lot sizes, you got neighbors. We really feature a lot of floor plans with front porches, for example, so that people get out to sit outside and meet their neighbors. We want them to face the community.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. We only have about 30 seconds or so left, but you know, they used to say, let's get together and play canasta. Now they say, let's get together and play pickleball. You know, it's what people are talking about. Things really change. How do people find out more about Rock Oak in our final?
Well, we'd love them to come out and see us. We're right on Main Street in Clarence. They can just follow Main Street down to Rockland Avenue and take the signs in and come see us at our Model Home Center. They can give us a call at our phone number is 716-759-1682, or they can visit us online at rockoak.com.
All right, very good. Thank you. I appreciate that. Again, for more information and answers to your questions, contact Rock Oak of Clarence by calling 716-759-1682 or go to rockoak.com. Sponsorship and promotional consideration for the preceding segment was provided by the following.